goal should be not to what's this? Not to actually have your colleague a memo for reporting that your reliever will be late. You get me? Because there are some in if maybe if you are mad with your or you are not in good terms with your reliever in the duty and she became late, then you will take that chance to like report to your supervisor so that he will be given a memo or whatsoever. So don't use that, huh? That's unethical as well. So never leave your client unattended. If you still don't have your reliever, if you need to have an overtime, do it. But I was guilty on this because the last patient that I had, uh, although I informed the wife, same patient who told me, or same wife who told me to wash their plates, and it was already last day of my duty before they will fly back to Africa. So she told me that I will be late by 1 hour, but you can go now, just leave him there, something like that. But because I wanted to really go home, plus we have this driver who is waiting for me outside, because in home care they provide the transportation. So I cannot really, stay there. Otherwise, they will send me to another driver, and that will take like 2 to 3 hours again of waiting. And they are not willing to like pay anyway an extension for an hour in the company. So I left. The patient there, but I made it sure that I informed the relative, and I have the copy of her message that she is allowing me to leave. However, if something happened to the patient and not this in the case, I will not win then. I will not win the case. Even she told me to just go.
It's not there.
So
It's not like that.
my advice is do not do that. Communicate with your supervisor. Let them communicate with the wife to like inform that since you cannot come back yet, we will extend the nurse and you have to pay this amount. Blah, 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 blah. But for me, I did not think that way. So like I said, I'm guilty with that action. I lost my ethics there. Good thing that nothing happened to the patient, and to think that the patient is actually having Alzheimer's disease. So tendency is that if he lost his mind, he can go out and
problem.
You can run.
exactly. But then he's fine and he's in Africa now. Next, address the client on their preferred name. Yeah. Okay. Honor the client's right to privacy and confidentiality. Include their identity, address, and telephone number. Again, confidentiality. We need to take care of that. And 8, keep religious belief, political choices, personal issues, private, and likewise respect clients' beliefs. Okay, don't argue with your clients, or better not to talk about any beliefs, political choices, or personal issues. And actually, this is not our main goal. So avoid those things in your conversation. Call emergency hotline when there is emergency, and call the senior care company office or care manager. Do not engage in financial transaction nor intimate relationships with client or family member. So sometimes there are clients who's giving you money, much as possible you refuse, but say thank you or what. However, here, whenever someone give you money or something, you should accept it, right? Because this is disrespectful for them. It's haram for them. But then they can still use this to like complain you that you accepted money from them, even they are the one who give it to you. So just be careful with that. You need to make sure that you really have their trust. You really have your the trust of your patients before you do that. Okay, but at first you really need to like refuse it in a nice way, so they will not be feeling offended. But one of my patients gave me last Christmas 1,000 dirhams. I did not even think of saying no. Give me. I put it in my pocket straight away.
Arabic? Because some Arabic patients giving gift for the nurses in hospital.
Yeah, Arabic.
Maybe once they discharge.
I don't know if you know DJ Snake. Is it DJ Snake? Yeah, DJ Snake, the popular singer. DJ Snake. Who sang the Taki Taki. Taki Taki.
So,
His father-in-law was my patient that time.
TikTok.
No, I'm going to show you who's this guy.
No, when I hear this name, I remember TikTok.
But in this video, it's not showing a lot.
Here, some Arabic patients they discharge from hospital. They are paying for them secretly, like 1,500. Like that.
This is DJ Snake.
Ah.
So he is an artist, that black guy.
Galing.
He's really rich. They have a good house, and on their backyard they have the horse riding. Yes, they're really rich, and they are really kind. And so on that Christmas day, they give me 1,000. I accepted. I didn't have second thought of refusing. I need money that time. But yes, first time you need to like say, "Oh ma'am, thank you," or "Sir, thank you," but it's not allowed for us to like accept money. But
if they insist, then you take. If they insist, then you take.
They will insist you, but if you insist,
Just do it.
or you can say it directly, but if you insist, okay. Or if you just leave it quiet on the table.
Don't text kindly. Just
Leave it on the table. Before I go on the table.
give an envelope.
So, even we want to,
That's why we are here.
we still need to avoid that. That's part of our code of ethics. Because they can really use that to sue us. Intimate relationship, of course. Although I had a girlfriend who was my patient before when I was working in the hospital in the Philippines after her surgery, so we dated and we became boyfriends and girlfriends. But again, we are break already. So really, I am bending more of this code of ethics, huh? Imagine I had a girlfriend who's my patient, where in the code of ethics it says here to avoid intimate relationship with the client. And the next, never use alcohol or illegal drugs as a professional caregiver. try to like go to work drunk. we were drinking all night, and my duty was 7 o'clock, and we finished 5:30. So I just went home and take shower and then go for duty. I was still young that time, so I can still manage.
Yeah.
But right now, no, I cannot anymore. Cannot do it anymore. And lastly, use personal mobile phones for call, text, chat, etc. during rest or break periods. Use? Oh yeah.
Use personal, don't borrow from
Yeah, don't borrow from the maids.
Don't use the company phone.
Of the maids of
Use your personal phone.
Yeah. So we proceed to the patient's
Patient
rights. Like I said, this refers to the autonomy aspect of code of ethics. So the first is the right to emergency treatment, the right to be treated with respect. Do you agree with that? And then the right to obtain your medical records. So you, this is your medical records, so you own that. Okay, they are the one who should, or the hospital should, the one make a copy for them. It's not you who should request that. They should actually give that to you. Then the right to privacy of your medical records. Again, we need to maintain confidentiality of our patient, as they can sue you with that. The right to make a treatment choice. So just like with your friend, Kishore, if maybe he was not heard by the doctor to go for a second opinion, then
Evidence
he
that.
he violated the patient's right there. The right to be or to inform consent. So whenever we are doing procedure, this is a really big thing in the practice. In our practice, whenever we are doing a procedure, especially invasive procedure, do not forget consent. You need to let the patient sign. You can use this as well in your duties as caregivers. For example, your patient has an order to like monitor the blood sugar maybe every 8 hours or 6 hours, and then because she doesn't want to be pricked anymore, she refused one time. You need to let them sign on the refusal form, or you can make a writing that, for example, due blood sugar test at 3 p.m. refused by the patient. Then let the patient sign there, or the relatives, because if you miss that, meaning you cannot give also the medication, or if something happened to the patient, then at least you have something to present that your patient really refused it. And you cannot just say, oh, because she doesn't want to. It will not be acceptable in the court. Rights to refuse treatment. So yes, if they don't want to like undergo treatments, although they really need to, again, the doctor will ask the patient to like sign a refusal for admission. For example, the doctor wants him to be admitted in the hospital, but they don't want to. Before they go out, they need to sign a refusal form, so that if something happened outside for not allowing, for refusing to be admitted, the doctor and the hospital will be exempted with the case. And then last is the right to make decisions about end of life care. How is that? How is that? Do you think is all about?
patient can move to another